Hello, everyone, and welcome to Market Talks. I'm Ray Salmon, head of markets here at Cointelegraph. On the show, we discuss the latest in what's shaping the markets with valuable insights from industry leaders, traders, and influencers. On today's show, we continue our chat with Lark Davis, and together we'll explore his tips on how to make content in the crypto space, his views on the current crypto market structure, and a handful of other interesting things. For those of you that don't know, Lark Davis has been actively involved in the world of cryptocurrency since 2017. He is a Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoin, and stock investor with years of experience making consistent profits. He's got more than 1.1 million followers on his Twitter and 470,000 YouTube subs. He is also the author of a crypto newsletter called Wealth Mastery. Now, you mentioned your newsletter, and I did want to touch on that. I was having a look at your website, and like I said in the intro, I see you have 470,000 YouTube subs, 1.1 million subscribers or followers on Twitter, a newsletter that goes out weekly. What does it take to consistently keep up with all that content production? What does that entail?
It entails a lot of work. With the newsletter, actually, we've got 7 writers on team, plus a marketing team behind that helps manage different aspects of the newsletter, plus an editor. So yeah, 7 writers plus an editor to get the newsletter produced every week. So it's a big team of people, but we're doing a fantastic product, right? I'm really happy with our newsletter. I think it's absolutely value-packed newsletter for people, and that comes from having 7 people spending about 40 hours a week putting together all this information, right, to compact it down for somebody to read in 10 minutes on their lunch break or whatever it might be. So that's big. The newsletter is a big production every week, but then the content's huge production too. But for like the YouTube shorts, which got on TikTok and Instagram Reels and Facebook and put them on Twitter and all that stuff, I mean, I'm the creative person behind that. I'm writing all my own scripts for YouTube shorts. I'm doing all my own YouTube videos as well, right? So I've got an editor to help package it up and put it out. But yeah, in terms of the creative stuff, that's all me. But the team helps, having the team behind me to do the stuff that I can do, but it takes too much of my time, or I'm not the best at doing it when you're trying to wear too many hats, like doing YouTube thumbnails, for example. I actually enjoyed doing YouTube thumbnails, but the problem when you're trying to do that plus 10 other things is you just don't have time for it. You say, well, okay, I'm just going to cut corners on my YouTube thumbnail here, and it's not going to be particularly awesome because of that. So you're better off to pay somebody to do it for you, because they will make it awesome. They will take the time to do it. And so, yeah, having a team has really, for the more technical stuff, editing and all this sort of stuff, has really helped me be able to focus more on the creative stuff, and as well as engaging with the community and things like this.
So it's a full-time job.
Yeah, it's full-time job, making crypto content, and I just enjoy it. It's fun. I like making the videos and all this stuff. So it's a very enjoyable process for me to do these things, the creative side of it, right? So I'm glad I am able to do that with my team.
So how did you start from kind of zero and get to where you are now? And if you're willing, what sort of tips or suggestions would you give to aspiring content creators in the crypto space who aim for similar success?
Yeah, it's been quite the journey, obviously, and it just requires massive effort, especially in the early days, to get any kind of attention, right? And to be consistently out there just making content, providing value for people, and keep showing up even when it's hard. And even as a content creator who's been able to generate a bigger following of people, there are still times when, like, the bear market, December, right? It's rough. Signing into social media is rough on those days. Everybody's angry and engagement's low and all this stuff, but you need to keep showing up for people. I feel like that. I need to keep showing up for people and, show up and share my opinions and talk to people and engage. And yeah, it's really important to, if you're an aspiring content creator, to keep showing up, right? To keep showing up for the people who are giving you their attention. So
yeah, it's all about consistency, isn't it? And I guess it must be difficult to kind of align your production and the topics of your production with what's trending. especially in a time right now where everyone's interested in artificial intelligence, AI stuff, right? And you see a lot of content creators who were purely crypto now kind of flipping towards AI and disconnecting themselves from crypto and trying to catch that wave. I wonder how well they'll be able to reconnect with their crypto audiences when, interest shifts back to crypto. And I wonder, like, you've been through this through a few cycles. So is it effective to still pump out content in a bear market when you're losing subs and you're not getting a lot of engagement with your content and people seem disinterested? Is it still worth the effort to continue pumping out content consistently? And does it pay off from your point of view?
That's a really interesting question. It's certainly not the kind of engagement you would have when markets are more exciting. And as you mentioned earlier, this is kind of how markets normally are, actually. The bull market is actually the fantasy. It's the mirage in the desert, right? That's the short time. It only lasts for 6 months, maybe a year at max of like really exciting market times. And most of the time, 2-3 years at a time, markets are either painful or boring. And that's kind of the norm. And to be a content producer through that, you just kind of have to accept, well, markets are not hot right now. But again, I'm going to show up for the people who are interested to hear my opinions on these topics. And, certainly the tech space is something I've been interested in for a long time. For example, we are actually going to start doing more content on that in the future, but it's not leaving behind crypto in exchange for talking about tech stocks, right? It's that plus. And the thing is that a lot of people, including content creators, will only talk about crypto at the exact wrong time. For example, a lot of the big finance YouTubers, they do a lot of great information, but they will only talk about crypto at the peak of the bull market, right? They're not gonna talk about Bitcoin when it's on sale and it's 80% down and it's actually the most attractive time to buy, when it's the lowest risk and the highest reward potential. A lot of people will buy and content creators will produce content on it when it's the highest risk and lowest reward time to actually be getting involved in the market. But it's trending then, so it makes for good clicks, right?
Be sure to tune into Market Talks and follow Cointelegraph to stay up to date on all the latest and breaking news.